Alright, so when you're first starting off, you just want to do dot start. If you've already done this, do dot inf. And you're not gonna have all these cards, but you're gonna do dot select one to select your first card, and then you just do dot battle or dot bt for short. And then you do dot fl space n. And you do the next floor and you dot battle again. So you're gonna do that until you get to floor 15. And when you get to that floor 15, so if I do that FL 15, because I already beat all of these, if I try to do the next floor, it's not gonna let me do it. So you have to do dot lock for short for dot location. So dot lock, and then the number of the location. So you're gonna be on the second one now. And you repeat this until you finish this one, and you keep going on and on until you get as high as you can. Alright, so if you guys want to go up floors faster, I'd recommend you guys get an overload card. So overload cards, the talent overload is basically it doubles your attack or increases your attack by 99%, which makes it so that you just 2-tap most bosses early on, so you can just go up floors really fast. So the first one I recommend is Gajeel. This one is pretty cheap in the market right now. The cost for it's around 10,000, and I recommend you guys just like get it for 10k or 8.5k is what my friends got it at when they first started. And if you're not looking for a Gajeel, you can go for a Genos to complement him, because Gajeel is weak to grass. Genos would be able to beat all the grass cards that beat Gajeel. So Genos is a little bit more expensive, but it's not too much of a difference. Genos' attack is better, which makes him a little better than Gajeel. So to beat like location 2, he does pretty good. Yeah, one tapped. And that's SR EVA 1 level 37. Alright, so when you want to enhance a card, first you need to get the card to enhance the ID, so inf, and then the name of the card you want to enhance if you can't find it. So you want to do .mass enhance, and then the card number, so 2219, and usually you can just press enter here, or usually you want to type in -R for rarity, and then R for rare, C for common, and UC for uncommon. And if you want to be more specific, you want to do -N, so the name of the card, and then type in Garo. So this is useful because if you enhance a card with cards of the same name, you get 3 times the experience. So usually people fodder the exact same card on their floor to basically use less cards to enhance it. So just do that, press enter, and then it'll say Garo cards 3 times XP multiplier, and you press check mark. And I didn't get it to 50, but I have to do that for 2 of them. And if you get it fully maxed up, you do .evo 2219. Right now it's not max level, but if you had 2 max level Garos, you can evo them to make a evo 2. And evoing your cards is super beneficial. So yeah, you usually want all of your stuff to be evo 3'd. Alright, so for elemental advantages, if it's light versus dark, both of you guys receive more damage and take more damage. So usually when you're in a light versus dark scenario, you don't want to be opposing the other person, especially in raids where you want to take the least amount of damage possible. And then for all of these other elements, so grass beats ground, ground beats electric, electric beats water, water beats fire, fire beats grass. You usually want elemental synergies. So right now I'm in the Gintoki raid, so I don't know how I maxed with this team. I actually use this team for the tutorial, but this team works because Gara is ground, and that beats Edward's electric. And then for the same elements, both of you guys do less damage. So if you're in the electric versus electric scenario, you would do less damage. Both of you guys would. Alright, so the market is basically where you can buy and sell cards. I recommend you guys try finding the card in the main server, as usually the prices are cheaper in the market buying and selling areas over here. But if you can't, do .market, and then you can use the same filters as you do with the raids in your inventory, so minus R for rarity. And then usually you want to filter out the commons, uncommons, and rares people are selling, because no one really buys that, and I don't recommend you guys buy it. So SR and UR. And yeah, that shows you all the SRs and URs right now, but usually you want to filter by the cards you want. So that's, I mean, to buy a card first, you want to find the card. So let's say I wanted to buy Ataru, one of the best cards. Find it, and then you do .mk space buy, find the ID, copy it, and then paste it in. Press enter, and then it'll ask for a confirmation, and you press the check mark if you want to buy it. There you go. And then it's going to be on cooldown. So whenever you buy and sell something or you trade something, it's going to be on the cooldown. So if you do .cd, you're going to see all the cards you have on cooldown right now. And then if you want to sell something, so let's say, let me go to Ataru. Let's say I wanted to sell this super rare Ataru. So I copy its ID and do .mk space sell, the ID, and then the cost. So considering his worth, easily 69,000. Enter. And then you press the check mark if you want to sell it, and the X if you don't want to sell it. Make sure you show the tax. And yeah, that's how you make money in Anigame. About trades, if you don't know how to trade, you .trade and you add someone. So let's add this random. Confirm, and then you do .inv, search your card up, tr add card 41, and you just do tr view to see what you're doing, and tr confirm. If they confirm back, it goes through. Alright, so for raids, you're going to need a team. So when you're creating your team, you want 3 SRs. Do .inv and then get the 3 SRs you want. Do .team create and then the team name. So I already have 5 teams, so I can't create another one, but you want to do that team create and the team name. And do team set, and then the team, like the number of your card, this hashtag number right here. So let's say I want to put in my Hawks into YOLO. I'd put him in position 1, and there you go, he's in there. And then you want to put in a different card, so let's say I put in my Tony Chopper to YOLO, and position 3. You do team select, and then the team that you created, so team select YOLO, and do team, and there you go, you have your team. And then you want to do rd space bt for battle, and then if you do that, you'll attack once. If you want to attack multiple times, you can do 1, 2, 3, 4, or all for 5, 5 for all, or max, whatever works best for you. I only recommend you guys do max or all if you guys are like confident you can max the raid. Otherwise, you're gonna get crit round 1 or 2. Alright, so when you're looking for raids, you wanna usually use the raid lobby system. So you do .rd space lobbies, and then minus, and then R for the rarity, and R again for rare, and BC for uncommon. So usually you want only these two. Maybe you can add in commons if you want to, but I recommend you do rares and uncommons, as they're a little harder, but they're not too hard, and they have decent to way better chances than commons. And then for difficulty, you don't really need to worry about that for now. Early on, like the difficulty, you can do easy, medium, anything. Later on, you usually only want to do hards or impossibles. Don't shy away from a raid being called impossible though, because that just means it's going to take longer. The power level is not based off of its difficulty that you spawn. So usually you only want to spawn impossibles, as they always have higher chances, or usually have higher chances. You do that, get raids, and when you're looking at raids, you want to do something that's within your power level range early on, because you don't really have the cards to make it feasible to do like a 5k power level raid. So early on, recommend 0 to 3K, 3.5K. You can also use the raid recruitment system in the Anigame server, and that gives you decent raids. Like this raid's okay, pretty decent, 4.5K, but you might be able to do it. This raid's decent too. Terrible chances. I wouldn't do it actually. Never mind. But yeah. Well, that's about it. If you guys need cards farmed for, like, if you guys buy an SR and you can't get it yourself, we created this farm service that goes from 44 to 58 for really cheap prices. It's 115 for 44 to 50 and 110 for 51 to 58. We have quite a few people that are down to farm. We have like 6 farmers, and all of them are location 58. They're down to farm for you, and usually we're understocked. Like, we have no orders right now. It's kind of sad, and we'll get like 6 people on your order at this rate. So if you guys want quick fodder and cheap fodder, just hit this place up, and if you have questions, just drop them down in the comments below.